guys, it's Naima from Miss Seal's Gifts on Etsy, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Tales of an Ordinary Etsy Seller. As you come along on my journey to build my Etsy empire, and then I have to do my evil laugh. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, anyway. So I got a very small haul video for you. And we went out last weekend, and when I say we, I mean I got my husband to go with me, which in and of itself is a miracle from on high, because he does not like to go. I mean, once we get there, he gets into it, and he's like, get this, look at this, have you seen this? I think this will sell. But getting him going is not so cool. But we've got this deal right now. He wants to walk a 5K, which is about 4 miles, and I have been working out quite consistently since March. Some of you know I was extremely ill, and so I've changed a lot of things, nutrition and diet, and I've been exercising, so I can do 4 miles in about 45 minutes because I'm She-Ra. I got a little muscle too. I got a little skin, so yeah. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. Rabbit trail. Okay, so anyway, so he wants to do this 5K, and in exchange for me doing this 5K with him, he will go with me to 50 garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, flea markets. We've been to 3. He's got 47 more to go. Now the thing is, the 5K he wants to do is the color run, where they throw that color on you, chalk, powdered chalk, paint, I don't know what it is. Y'all, that's not cool. I don't know what it is. Y'all know, black woman in her hair. It's not cool. We don't like nothing in our hair like that. No. Because washing it is a big production. So, now granted, I'll be the first one to buy some hair. Yes, I will. So I guess I'm going to have to buy some hair for this event. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do my real hair and call it a day. I don't know. So anyway, we'll see. He's got to start training. So yeah, I'll keep y'all updated on that. Anyway, so I want to show you what I got. We went to 3 yard sales. One, we didn't buy anything. So we went to 2 yard sales and an estate sale. So of course I got a story to share, and then I'll update you on my antique booth after I show you what I have gotten. So the first thing I got was this little picture frame, and they're going online anywhere between $4.99 and $12.99. I got this for my booth, so I'm gonna put this in my antique booth, because not only can you put antique booth stuff like antiques in the booth, you can put like this kind of stuff in there, home decor, that kind of thing, jewelry. I've made some jewelry and sold it, and actually the jewelry that I've made has sold pretty well at the antique mall, which I was surprised about because I didn't expect that. So I might make up some earrings and take them down there. But I paid $1 for this, and I'm going to put it on sale for $4.99. So I think that's pretty cool. And then from that same garage sale, I got these glasses, and I think they're highball, mid-century modern. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research. I'm not exactly sure. They were only 10 cents for the 2, and still got the sticker on it. I don't know. I mean, they look like, or maybe they were 10 cents each. I didn't pay. That's the best thing when my husband comes along. I don't have to pay out of my little money. He pays. That's good stuff. So they were 20 cents. They were 10 cents each. And I'm not sure. I mean, the couple that was selling them were elderly, and so they said they'd had them a while, so I believe they're vintage. They look vintage. If you all know anything about glasses like this, let me know. We paid, like I said, 20 cents, and I probably will try to sell them depending upon how much I can narrow down when and what era they're from, anywhere from $14.99 to $22.99, depending upon, you know, how old they are. Probably more like $9.99 for 2. I think that's a good, because they're not that spectacular. They don't really even have anything major, except this is kind of golden here at the bottom. So we'll see. We'll see what we do. So we went to this estate sale. Story time. We went to this estate sale and we pulled up, and they had this dog stroller, which I really wanted, but they wanted $100 for that. And I was like, I don't think so. I can get a new one for $100. Why would I get a used one for $100? Which, my dog would probably go nuts in because she smells some other dog. That didn't make any sense to me. So we went in, and there was a big sign on the door, and it said, shoplifters will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And I was like, uh-oh. So we went in, and we started looking around, and one of the ladies was just really kind of like, ugh, she just had an chauffeur attitude. I mean, she just was not happy. She was just like bitter, just ugh. And just, I could, the vibes coming off of her were not cool at all. So we were walking around, and she kind of peeked at us a couple of times, and she left. And because, in the estate sale, you can go from room to room to room and pick up, the things that you're interested in. And so we were going back and forth about some different things. And I had on my what I like to call my yard sale gear. And my husband was like, well, what is that? I had on a hat and some baggy jeans. Well, most of my clothes are baggy because they're all too big. So I had on some baggy jeans, and I didn't look like a minister, I'll tell you that. I mean, I just looked like, I don't know, Joe Blow out on the street. And I said, well, you have to dress like this so people don't suspect you're a seller. And then they try to raise the prices on you. And then they think you don't know what you're looking at. And so, I don't know if that's true or not. So I was looking at this dish, and the lady was like, that's really pretty, isn't it? There was another lady. There were two other ladies there. So the other lady, she's like, that's a really pretty dish, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, it is a really pretty dish. I was like, it's carnival glass. And she was like, how did you know that? And I was like, I'm looking at it. I can tell it's carnival glass. And she's like, you should buy it because you know what it is. People have been coming through here. They've been offering us nothing for it. And I looked it up on eBay, and it's selling on eBay for at least $50. But I'll give it to you today for $20. And I was thinking to myself, first of all, I know it's carnival glass. Second of all, I know the market is flooded with carnival glass. Third of all, I've got some carnival glass that I'm trying to unload, because when I first started selling, I thought to myself, I'm going to grab everything that, looks popular. Like, these are the big trends. And I didn't realize when I bought that piece of carnival glass, and it was chipped on the side, I didn't realize that there was so much carnival glass on the market, and that the market had just been kind of flooded with it, and it really isn't moving right now. And if you got carnival glass and it's moving, please let me know what you're doing. So I took the carnival glass I had down to my antique booth, and it still ain't moving. And I got the thing on sale for like $20, and it's worth more than that. But ain't nobody trying to buy no carnival glass right now. There's so much out there. There's everybody around me at the antique booth has carnival glass, and some of it is much prettier than what I have, and it's priced only $5 or $6 more, and their stuff ain't moving. So I was like, oh no, I'm not really interested in that. And the truth of the matter is, it don't matter if you saw it on eBay for $50. That don't mean it's sold on eBay for that price, and that it's gonna sell. I messed around with eBay a little bit when I first started reselling, and I just found that the platform, it just was too stressful for me, and I don't need any stress in my life. I need to do things I enjoy, and eBay was just too back and forth. It was just, and then things were sitting and nobody was really looking at them, and I was just like, So anyway, we continue to walk around this estate sale, and we pick up a couple of different things. So I got this chicken, I guess it's a trivet, which you would call a trivet, but I guess you could also hang it on the wall. And it is brass, I believe, and we paid $1, because I'm all about the dollar. Dollar Billy, y'all. Dollar Billy, y'all. Dollar, 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 dollar Billy, y'all. I'm all about the dollar. So I paid $1 for this. And I looked online, and these are selling anywhere between $12.99 and about $18.99. So I'm going to put $14.99, and I'm going to sell this on Etsy. So I got that. And then I got this. Gotta reach down and get it. I got this little honey keeper with some bees on it. A little bee on the top. I don't believe it's vintage. But I am going to... Hey! way. It has a crack in it. Stinky. As a matter of fact, I think it's been glued. See, that's why I need my mama. Because my mama got the eye. She's coming on Tuesday for the holidays. And she likes to go thrifting with me. So when I pick something up, I always give it to her. And I don't know, she sees stuff that I never see. This has a big crack all the way across it. Like somebody glued it back together. And a chip. And I did not see that. Because I never would have picked it up. If it was dark in that house too. But anyway, I got it to sell at my booth. Like I said, yeah, there you can see it there. Let me see if you can you guys see that crack going across there? There, right there. I got this to sell at my booth, and now because I see this crack, maybe I won't sell it at my booth. It was $1. I may take it to the flea market. We're going to the flea market next weekend, setting up. So I might sell it at the flea market for $2. We do the flea market for the stuff that people donate to us to sell, and then I have tons and tons and tons of clothes that I can't wear anymore. Plus size women's clothes, 30, 32, and I now wear like a 20, 22. So that's almost 10 sizes. I can't wear those clothes. I mean, I got a shirt on now that's like 4 sizes too big, but I'm not getting rid of this because it's a hoodie and it's comfortable and I can wear it with some leggings and it's all good. So blah. So yeah. And then we got this Score 4 game, vintage game from the 1960s. And these are going online anywhere from $24 to $58. This one is missing a stick, one of these sticks. And so just one. And so I'm going to sell it for parts, replacement parts, pieces. I'm going to count the sticks because maybe they were extra to begin with. Sometimes they put extra sticks in there. And I think I'm going to put it up for $19.99 on Etsy. And so when John found this, he found them in a box under the kitchen table. There was a vintage, some other vintage game I'd never heard of. And I was like, wow. And so we started to walk around with them. And she was like, did you want to start a pile, to keep? So we gave her the stuff and gave her to hold while we continued to shop. And she's like, so you want both of these games? I said, well, how much are they? And she was like, they were $4 each. And I was like, no, because I wasn't paying $8 for 2 vintage games. I just wasn't going to do it. Because games, they're iffy, And so John was like, well, I'll put the other one back. So he put the other one back. And then the woman who was kind of like, ugh, she came back and she's like, what'd you do with those games? And John was like, well, John is my husband, for those of you who don't know. He was like, well, I put the one down here with the rest of the stuff we're going to purchase. He said, and I put the other one back. And she was like, well, where'd you put it? And so he was like, well, let me take you. I'll show you where I put it. And I put it back in the box under the kitchen table. So he took her back there and she comes back with this game. And she's like, I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to put this to the side. And so we were just kind of like, what the heck? And so, y'all, I'm from New York. So everything within me, my back was getting up. Because she was just kind of being like nasty. And I was just about to be like, ugh, let's go. Just leave it all. Because I hate to spend my money with people who are in. And then something said to me, and it wasn't something, I know it was the Lord. Something said, the Lord said, I felt like the Lord laid on my heart, came to my mind, I'll put it like that I needed to stop and have some compassion because this was an estate sale and I didn't know who that woman was. And maybe this was her mother's stuff or maybe this was her father's stuff, grandparents' stuff, and maybe this was real difficult for her. I always feel funny about estate sales. I don't particularly like them, even though you can get really good stuff at them, because I always feel like I'm pilfering through somebody's life, and I don't like that feeling. I much rather the flea market and the thrift stores, but you usually get good stuff in the estate sale, good vintage stuff. And so I stopped and I thought about that, and I was like, I'm gonna change my whole attitude. And so I did. She was doing her thing, and I wasn't paying her no attention. And then the last thing that we picked up were these glasses. I have a set of 4 of them. They're mid-century modern. I know I've sold some glasses like this. These things are ugly to ship, though. The first thing I ever bought for my sale, for my store, were some mid-century glasses like this. They were a dark raspberry color. They were beautiful. It was a set of 2. And this one has a tiny chip too. Man. I need my mama. I have a set of 4 of these. And I may put these in my booth. I may not put these up on Etsy because they are, they're awful to ship. They are just a beast to ship. Because, you know, you worried about the stem breaking. And the set I had before that I sold, I had to send those to San Francisco. And it was my very first Etsy sale. And so I was a nervous wreck. And so I wound up losing out on the shipping because I packed the things so much that it was just ridiculous. So anyway, they were $4 for a set of 4. We have 4 of them. And John went to the lady that had the and he was like, ma'am, would you take $2 for these glasses? And she looked at him. She's like, oh, she was like, that's fine. Like, she was just defeated. And so she brought the glasses over and we started talking to them. And I had these little ceramic frogs, right? They were about that big. They were so cute. I knew they were going to sell. So we're talking to the lady that's sitting at the cash register, and the one that was kind of neat was wrapping up stuff. And the lady at the cash register said, are you sure you want these frogs? And I was like, well, why wouldn't I want these frogs? And so she was like, turn them over and look at them. So I turned them over and I looked at them. Y'all, the frogs were anatomically correct. And when I say they were anatomically correct, I don't mean like frog anatomically correct. I mean like human anatomically. And we was all like, oh! And then the woman next to us who was wrapping our stuff, who had been so nasty, she's like, mother, where these frogs come from? Oh my gosh, that's so rude. And because we had told them we were ministers and that we were sharing all this stuff, and she was like, I don't think you want these in your house. You know, somebody might pick them up. You have to explain to them as ministers, you know, why you got these dirty frogs in your house. I was like, yeah, I think we're going to go ahead. And even though my mother was like, you should have bought them and sold them online. I was like, okay, Mom, whatever. So anyway, because, you know, I try to photograph the bottom side. So what if I would have turned that over and been like, what the heck? Too much. It's too much. Too much. So anyway, we started laughing, and it really kind of broke the ice with the lady who was kind of with the and so she said, it's been a rough afternoon. She said, people have been stealing from us all day. And I was like, what? People with the estate sale stealing? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I can't even fathom that. And so she's like, it's just been hard. And I looked at her and I said, you know, when I came in the door, I felt like you were having a really bad day. I was like, are you okay? And I'm so glad that I felt the Lord just lay on my heart to be compassionate, because the woman started crying and she was like, that's why I wanted those games. This is my grandfather's stuff. I used to sit at the kitchen table as a child and play these games with my grandfather, and that's why I wanted, you know, to keep them. I said, oh, do you want this one back? I said, I'll be more than happy to give it back. She said, no, I can't keep everything. Please take it and enjoy it. And she's like, I'm just feeling so down. And my husband kind of laid his hand on her and he was talking to her. And so she said, you're a singer? And I said, yeah, I'm a singer. She said, would you sing me a song? Now, usually I hate when people do that, because people always do that. Sing. You a singer? Sing. And so I was like, but I knew, I felt like she really needed it. And so I don't know why, I just started singing. I was like, Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. So I started to sing that to her. And then I kind of changed the words. I was like, yes, Jesus loves you. Yes, Jesus loves you. And she really started crying. And when I was done, she looked at me and she said that was her favorite song as a child, and that I should pick that song just meant the world to her. I know God is real. I know God sent me to that estate sale to be an encouragement to that woman. And I could have missed the opportunity to be a blessing to her, because I had an because I took her as an at me, when her was really an of grief, and an as an attitude, for those of you who don't know. She really was just grieving. And so I think a lot of things in this world could be avoided. A lot of conflict and misunderstanding can be avoided if we take a moment and react with compassion and not with what our feelings tell us. So that's my soapbox for today. Rabbit trail, rabbit trail. Now, I did feel guilty because I didn't tell a woman I was a reseller, so I bought this stuff and I'm going to resell it. felt kind of bad. I mean, I didn't lie. I didn't lie. I wouldn't have lied to the woman. She would have asked me what I was going to do with it. I would have told her because I'm not a liar. She just said, you know, take this game and enjoy it. So my husband and I decided that we are going to play this game on Christmas and hang on for a little while before we put it up. It is selling, like I said, for $24, but sometimes it's not all about the money. Sometimes it's about understanding that this was somebody's life. This was a piece of somebody's life, and we're going to celebrate that life. Now I'm feeling a little emotional. So that's my haul video, and I was going to give you a update about the antique booth, but this is getting a little bit long, so I will I like to keep my videos under 20 minutes, so I'll be back to talk about that in a couple days. Alright, y'all, Merry Christmas if I'm not back before then. Happy New Year and all that good stuff. God bless.